And South Carolina controls the opening tip against Norfolk State out of the MEAC tournament champions this year.
And Norfolk State comes out in a 3-2 defense. They are the best defensive scoring team in the nation.
Kiera Fletcher, she is back and available today for South Carolina after missing the SEC Tournament Championship game. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. For Norfolk State, this team highlighted by Camille Downs, number 5, who is the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year the last 2 seasons.
She brings the energy defensively. She's one of the tops in total steals and steals per game.
Also their leading scorer at 12 points per game. Just the second appearance in the tournament for Norfolk State, the first since 2002. So this was a really big deal for the Spartans to get back. McCoy Diawara with the shot and an offensive rebound for the Spartans.
Well, getting second chance opportunities against South Carolina for Norfolk State. That's impressive.
Deja Francis trying to drive in on Zaya Cook, and the floater goes. South Carolina's starting 5. Look, Raven Johnson did a great job in the SEC Tournament Championship game as the starting point guard, but it's nice to have Kiera Fletcher back. Dawn Staley said after that championship game, we can't win a national title without Kiera.
Kiera Fletcher has really come along offensively and really understanding where to get the ball to, and Zaya Cook definitely has stepped up her game in her senior season as well.
That is an AP third-team All-American, Zaya Cook, a first-team All-SEC selection.
She talked about the mental has caught up with the physical. She has wanted it so bad. She is one of the most competitive people for Dawn Staley and really has pressed too hard. Now she's letting it all come together in her senior year.
Coming off 24 points in that SEC Tournament Championship game against Tennessee. Diawara again with the 3 from almost the same spot. Fletcher on the glass. Fletcher in some trouble. She'll release it over to Bree Beal. She is the other National Defensive Player of the Year finalist. Talking about Bree Beal.
Yeah, finally Bree Beal is getting her due and recognizing how she can shut down her primary offensive defender or offensive player.
Camille Downs poking it away from Fletcher, and it's going to be a held ball possession arrow, Norfolk State.
Zaya Cook just letting the game come to her through the zone in the corner baseline. Nobody finds her. No rush, no worry. She knocks it down.
Fields driving in, the easy layup.
I tell you, Norfolk State didn't come in here intimidated whatsoever on South Carolina's home court.
Aaliyah Boston, bucket her first points. A little bit of history we're watching for Aaliyah Boston. Not the first time we've said that in her career.
We've said that, yeah. Well, first game of her career was history. She's got a triple-double when she came in as a freshman.
But she is looking, if she can get a double-double, and if they go all the way, 6 games, that ties the SEC record set by Sylvia Fowles. Dawn Staley just done an incredible job with this program, taking this program to new heights. 14 SEC titles, a couple of national championships.
One of the things I don't think Dawn Staley gets credit enough for, yes, she brought talent here into South Carolina, but the management of the talent. You know, when you have a roster that is 14 deep, all 14 can contribute in some way, and they have bought into their roles.
Yeah, that's been the key to success for South Carolina this year, the depth and understanding those roles. Boston's double teamed. Cook will take the 3. Rebound by Mahogany Williams.
Larry Vickers told us he has broken the game down in segments. Instead of looking at the big picture of facing the #1 team in the country, 8 segments in between each media timeout.
Aaliyah Boston now 2 for 2. Yeah, so every 5-minute segment, that's what they're looking. Can we win this 5 minutes? If not, let's flush it and move on to the next 5 minutes in this game.
Exactly, because it can get overwhelming because South Carolina can come at you in waves. But right now, Norfolk State, they have held their own.
Camille Downs with the turnaround trying to go over Boston, and they get the offensive board, Deja Francis. Zaya Cook misses the layup. And it's going to be Norfolk State basketball. Look, Larry Vickers, he is all about the Spartans. He walked on the men's team. He was an assistant coach for the men's team before taking over this women's program.
And midway through in 2016, the women's season, needed to replace the head coach. Vickers took over, and he's been there ever since. In this team, they've hung their head on the defensive side of things. That's where Coach Vickers has really focused, and that's allowed his team to have the success that it has.
Yeah, they're first in the nation in scoring defense. Second opportunity, Bree Beal was going for the block, and instead she'll be whistled for the foul.
Talked about Bree Beal being also a finalist for National Defensive Player of the Year. She usually has drawn the assignment of the best offensive player on the opponent's team. And when that's the case, it is a nightmare for that player to even try to get to their average.
This is Janasia Williams at the free throw line to transfer in from St. John's. Looking, going back to Bree Beal, that's been her role since her freshman year. That's what got her in the starting lineup, and she hasn't let up.
But she came out of high school one of the top scorers out of the state of Illinois. And Don Staley said, can you pack that in your pocket and just be that defensive stopper for me for a couple of years? And she's done that, accepted that role. And now this year, when teams want to play off Bree Beal, she's like, hold my Pepsi.
She gets in that pocket.
Pulls it right out.
Cook gets fouled, going to the basket. Game 2 of the first round here in Columbia, South Carolina, on top of Norfolk State. It's the first since 2002.
That was a defensive battle all the way down. Destiny Howell for Howard tried to do all she could, hit some money threes down the stretch. But Norfolk State was able to hold Howard off.
A 26-6 record overall, winning that MEAC tournament. And this is a defensive team that's tops the nation in scoring defense and field goal percentage defense.
The activity that Norfolk State brings on the perimeter, they'll bring some full court pressure, really can wreak havoc in turning you over.
Diawara trying the three again. Raven Johnson has checked into the game for South Carolina. She's their point guard coming in off the bench, adding that speed to the offense.
So has Camila Cardoso. Remember, these two, they played together in travel ball pre-college. And Raven Johnson really likes to have that 6'7" target on the floor.
Who wouldn't? Cardoso's going to go to the free throw line. We got to talk to Raven yesterday. She had the best story because we're like, look, congrats on the SEC Tournament Championship. You got to start that game. And she goes, I know, I was kind of down about starting. We're like, Raven, what do you mean?
Now goes, everybody would love to start.
Yeah, she goes, well, I just really like playing with Camilla. She's going to come in the game at some point.
Yeah, she says, Camilla cleans up a lot of my mistakes. I can just throw it in the air and she'll go get it.
You know, Raven had to handle those duties, and Dawn Staley told us it was her teammates that really helped her get through that SEC Tournament Championship game. Aaliyah Boston talking to her constantly in that game.
Well, she said that Aaliyah told her, listen, we got you. You don't have to worry about anything. We are not going to let you fail. Do you know how comfortable that would be as a point guard to hear your player of the year, best player in the country say, I'm not going to let you fail?
Confidence instilled in Raven, and it paid off with a tournament title. Camila Cardoso fouled again, and she's going back to the free throw line. First foul against Sky Robinson.
You watch how Aaliyah Boston communicates on the floor. Zaya Cook comes down, pulls up at the free throw. If there were any doubt with Zaya whether or not that was a good shot, Aaliyah Boston went to her and said, that's a good shot. Continuing to infuse confidence in all of her teammates.
You know, there's talk of her for National Player of the Year, talking about Aaliyah Boston. Caitlin Clark is also in that conversation. What do you think when it comes to that race?
I look at the best player on the best team. And Aaliyah Boston is on South Carolina's team that has gone undefeated this season. And a big reason for that success is Aaliyah Boston. She has really had to share the wealth. She hasn't had to carry as much of the load offensively, but she still is at the top of every scouting report of any opponent in the country.
Camille Downs will take the long shot in a scoring drought here for Norfolk State. Quick pass inside to Boston. Immediately 4 players on Aaliyah Boston. Back to the free throw line.
I love the pass from Raven Johnson. When she caught it, no hesitation. She had her eyes to the rim. She knew that Aaliyah Boston was going to be there. And then look, 4 in gold surround Aaliyah Boston.
The National Player of the Year last year, 80 career double-doubles. That's the second most in SEC history, with the most being 86. And then she's projected to be the top pick in the WNBA draft.
I believe that she has got to be. Even if Indiana trades that #1 pick to somebody else would have to take Aaliyah Boston. Because you look at her, she's still not the best player that she's going to be. When you look at what Asia Wilson was when she left South Carolina and then goes on to be an MVP in the WNBA, Aaliyah Boston has that same potential.
There's a lane violation, so they're going to shoot this second free throw again.
So Aaliyah Boston was very disappointed that she missed 2 free throws. You saw her shake her head like, I don't do that. That can't happen.
Look, she's always held herself to a high standard since she arrived at South Carolina. 5 points, 2 rebounds, and she'll get a breather here. South Carolina up 14-5. Winner gets South Florida on Sunday.
Oh, and by the way, South Carolina now coming in with Ashlyn Watkins. It's like Dawn Staley can just go to the bench and add more talent to the floor and it never goes to a drop-off in production.
Everybody in the Greenville Regional 1 quadrant of the bracket, it's keeping them up at night.
Not much sleep.
Camille Downs trying again. Rebound by Kira Wheeler underneath the basket. And that ends a 2-minute scoring drought. South Carolina going quickly. Letitia Amihir. Mentioned all the pieces, and Amihir, part of that Freshies senior class. Something got into her in the SEC tournament. She was awesome.
And has played just about every position on the floor, if not every position. She's played some points. She's been on the wing. She's played the 4, 5. And Dawn Staley talks about her basketball is just ahead of her. So we haven't even seen the great Letitia Amihir of what she's going to be at the next level. And we asked, what is it? And she said she's going to be an even better scorer at the next level, and she can defend 1 through 5.
1 of 2 for Letitia Amihir, an Olympian as well, played for Team Canada in the Tokyo Olympics. Norfolk State's hit 1 of its last 11 shot attempts, and there's the rejection by Ashlyn Watkins.
Ashlyn Watkins is just pure athlete. The timing. Gets that block at the top of the shot. It's the future of the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Don't bury the lead, though. She's the first South Carolina Gamecock to dunk in a basketball game. Did it against Clemson earlier this season.
I mean, against an in-state rival, that's just wrong.
Or it's right if you're South Carolina. Shot clock violation. Sky Robinson's going to check back in for Norfolk State. South Carolina hasn't had a field goal now. 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Wow, Norfolk State has had everything to do with that defensively. You look at how I-5 players are locked in. The rotations are there. Nothing's coming easy.
Watkins, rebound, free throws. That's the second on Camille Downs, the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year of the last 2 seasons. Well, the NCAA Women's Championship continues all day with first-round games and then continues through Sunday, April 2nd when we crown a champion. Every game is on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Have you calmed down a little bit from watching South Florida's comeback?
No, my heart is still racing. That was an exciting ball game. I mean, South Florida trailed the whole entire game till the fourth quarter. Then they started to really chip their way back. And then to pull off the win, wow.
Didn't take the lead until a minute 21 to go in the game, and then forced overtime and won in overtime.
That's what March Madness is
That's
all
right.
about.
They get the winner of this game on Sunday here in Columbia. Fields over to Wheeler, trying to go in on Camila Cardoso. Second opportunity. Look at that. Poetry in motion for the Gamecocks. Raven Johnson sees it before it happens.
It is so fun to watch her maneuver on the court.
Norfolk State's going to get it right back. Fields over in the corner. Crystal White waiting.
Watch how Raven Johnson surveys the floor, finding the open player.
Breezy! 6-0 run for the Gamecocks. Fields off the screen from Wheeler.
Crystal White, number 0 in gold in the corner. That's the three-point specialist. He's hit 34 on the season.
4 seconds, Stacia Francis driving in. Time winding down, Raven trying to dump it off to Camilla, but it's a turnover instead. The heave from half court. Raven Johnson conducting the orchestra that is South Carolina's offense.
You know what I like to say?
As well. Second in the SEC in assist to turnover ratio. How nice is it, too, to have that change of pace coming in off the bench?
Well, teams that have to really prepare for 2 different styles.
Yeah.
You have the execution of Kiera Fletcher. Well, you got a little half-cut execution there, too, with Raven Johnson. But in transition, Johnson just makes the team go that much faster.
3 assists already for Raven Johnson.
Wheeler is battling inside.
Yeah, the offensive board, getting herself to the free throw line. First foul against Cardoso.
Wheeler may give up about a foot in height to Camila Cardoso, but number 50 in gold, it does not affect her one bit. She continues to go to work, working hard inside.
She's had double-figure points in 5 of their last 6 games. Was a late addition to this Norfolk State team. Larry Vickers told us, though, look, she loves basketball. And you got to be careful, though. She'll con you into watching film if she's got something else important she has to do and wants to put it off. He's like, she's got me.
Oh, yeah, and she knows that Coach Vickers will fall for it, too. You want to watch film? Any player that wants to watch film, yes, I am all about it.
I bet she's benefited from that extra time in the film room with her coach. Bree Hall, short on the 3, rebound by Fields. Francis with the spin. Hall out to Amihir.
So this is the versatility of Letitia Amihir.
What? Roll reversal. Amihir with the assist. Raven Johnson with the bucket.
You got 6'4" who can handle the ball. I won't say like a point guard because she has played point guard.
Yeah, there were times 3 games last year. Destiny Henderson was unavailable for South Carolina, and Letitia Amihir started at the point position.
Oh, right before that Clemson game, before they made the trip to the Bahamas last season. And Amihir really thrived at that point guard spot.
We asked her what changed for you at the SEC tournament, and she said, you know, there's a little bit extra to play for when you know that it could be your last tournament. Really, being a senior.
Talk about the chemistry of this team. Yeah, they're playing so hard for each other.
Ashlyn Watkins, no. Deja Francis, fouled by Cardoso, her second.
We were so impressed by Raven Johnson's vision down the court. How about Letitia Amihir's vision of recognizing having Raven Johnson running that left wing, dish up a little alley-oop on the action.
Deja Francis at the free throw line for Norfolk State, transfer from St. Bonaventure.
See how focused and locked in South Carolina is. They are not clock watching. They're not watching the score. They have to play discipline, execute, take care of the ball, and get good shots.
Turnover by Cook into the hands of Deja Francis. Transition points for Deja. First points in the second quarter for Norfolk State. Again, this is the top defensive team in the country. Talking about the Spartans and Camille Downs. Couple of transition points. And Dawn Staley is going to have to take a timeout. He's going in transition. We can do that with our defense, forcing turnovers. Now, how should South Carolina respond after the timeout?
Well, they had to adjust to Norfolk State bringing full court pressure. And they've got to be disciplined against this defense because the Spartans are not here to mess around.
It was a good high-low look, but Ashlyn Watkins missed the bucket underneath. Two-plus minute scoring drought for South Carolina. Wheeler guarded by Boston. Downs falls down, and Ashlyn Watkins off in transition.
Watkins is so smooth. She just oozes athleticism.
Future is bright for South Carolina, a freshman out of Columbia, South Carolina. Local product.
Because it's hard for me to imagine not having these freshies, as they call themselves, back next season. What this team's going to look like. But there is a wealth of talent that's sitting over there on that bench.
Yeah, the senior class for South Carolina, known as the Freshies. Letitia Amihir got the block there. And it's a blocking foul on the Spartans. Camille Downs took a hard hit.
Downs already had 2 fouls. Close. I think just the little step over as Amihir was trying to avoid the contact.
And you could move laterally. Did she establish that legal guarding position?
I don't think she was there yet.
Cook, pure. 7 points for Zaya. Francis with the ball skills, trying to break down Zaya. Cook gets her own rebound. Not relenting, Deja Francis. Fields pull up at the free throw line. Ball poked away from Letitia Me here. Saxton gets it back. And Kiera Fletcher fouled. Got a little track meet happening inside Colonial Life Arena. South Carolina up 29-12 here in the first round of the tournament.
Getting 37 points per game from their bench. That was almost 46% of their scoring. That's coming off the reserves.
And nobody in the nation gets more points off their bench than South Carolina does. 15 bench points today. Taken away by Zaya Cook. She just gets this look, hunting for the lane, getting to the basket.
And when she gets really low,
yes,
forget about it. She's going by you.
It's a Cook look.
The Cook look.
8-0 run for the Gamecocks. Fletcher to a me here. Victoria Saxton has to sky for it.
I think here Fletcher threw that a little low for Victoria Saxton. She could have gotten up a little bit higher, would have made it easier for her to score.
Scoring drought, 3+ minutes for the Spartans. Deja Francis, it rattles out into the hands of Aaliyah Boston. That's her 4th rebound today. 5 points to go along with it.
Oh!
Boston is fouled, but Mahogany Williams coming in with the swat.
Mahogany Williams caught that one. That looked pretty good to me. Number 10 in gold comes over with the swat.
The foul was on McCoy Diawara, number 12.
It's really the 3rd missed free throw for Aaliyah Boston today. She got a do-over with a lane violation.
South Carolina today only shooting 47% from the free throw line. They're usually a 70% free throw shooting team.
South Carolina showing some zone now, 2-3.
White in the corner. And that's just toughness. Kiera Wheeler, when they need a bucket, that ends a 4-minute scoring drought. Wheeler gonna find a way to get it.
We watched her practice yesterday. She was a little gimpy, got a sore ankle, but that does not stop Wheeler. She continues to play through.
Yeah, she didn't take any drills off. She was still running up and down the court yesterday. Cook, top of the key.
And she said Coach Vickers wants her to run with the guard. She runs the floor.
Transition points, those have been important for Norfolk State. Fields on the lay-in.
The Spartans have changed back now to a 1-2-2.
Saxton shakes the defender. And a foul on the floor. Second on Sky Robinson for the Spartans. They give it back to Boston. Bree Beal on the outside. Saxton to Fletcher.
Good box out by Wheeler to keep Boston off the glass.
South Carolina, those missed his last 5 shots. Under 2 to go in the half.
And Larry Vickers said last year he had 10 newcomers They were getting used to each other, added a couple more this year, and that's why they've been able to experience the success they had in the regular season.
And last season they were used to playing 4 guards. They've added some post players now, like Wheeler. Cook elevating. Saxton on the glass. Hits the deck hard. Possession arrow to Norfolk State. And Larry Vickers will call timeout here in a minute. Almost a turnover there. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Crystal White has it. Francis coming to get it. Working on Hall. Almost lost it. Banks it in at the buzzer. Hey, little shrug. She'll take it.
These Spartans came in with no fear. Not here to Columbia, South Carolina.
Their defense has shown up, though. South Carolina has missed its last 7 shots. A 3-minute scoring drought for the Gamecocks.
Well, South Carolina to 33 points in a half.
Garrett Fletcher stepping into it. No. Bree Hall offensive rebound.
Asia Francis, clock's running down. Banks it in. She says, I'll take it. Any way you can get it. Nice.
Deja Francis, this is her final season. Started out at St. Bonaventure, now in her 2nd season at Norfolk State. First team All-MEAC last season.
South Carolina's missed 9 free throws in that first half.
Yeah, just 50% from the free throw line. Spartans can take the last shot of the half. Bree Beal with the swipe. Got to put it up. Championship, and South Carolina trying to be the 10th to do so. Step 1 is winning here at home in the first round.
Larry Vickers had to talk to his team in the locker room and talking about small victories. Look at Kiera Wheeler. She has attacked the paint. But look, you only gave South Carolina 33 points, 34 points in that first half. So you've got to be pleased with your defense.
Boston is fouled. Now, we mentioned in the first half, Larry Vickers talked to his team about breaking this game down into 5-minute segments, and they wanted to win 3 of those. They won 1 of those 5-minute segments in the first half.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the things he'll be able to take back with him in talking about, did we achieve our goals? They've already forced Don Staley to call a timeout in that first half. Now they've won and looking to try to win another one of those segments. There was one more.
Box out.
No, that wasn't it.
Okay.
It's going to come to me. They have come very focused. I haven't seen a sign of intimidation by the Spartans. It doesn't matter what team you're playing, what the ranking is, you come out and compete when it gets to NCAA tournament time.
Francis with the shot. Rebounding, too, was an emphasis, and it was only a 1 rebound difference between South Carolina and the Spartans at the half.
I remember what the third one is, but it's too soon to predict that one yet.
Bree Beal with the 3.
Bill's offense. Everybody wants to talk about that she's a defender, but she can bring offense as well. Brigville, previous 3 years, she may have hesitated when the ball got rotated to her beyond the arc. Not this season. It comes to her. She's open. She knows that's an automatic decision.
Into the corner, Kiera Fletcher, too much on the three. Wheeler with the rebound. Pass up ahead to Crystal White. Brigville on the boards.
And I think Brigville is going to make a fantastic pro. When you go to the next level, you've got to be able to defend, right? And now she has demonstrated what she did coming out of high school is that she was a scorer. So she can play on both sides of the ball, the versatility. She can be a stretch four. She's big enough, strong enough to, and she's willing to defend all 5 positions on the floor.
Beal almost had another one. Fletcher, offensive boards galore on this possession for South Carolina. Beal in the paint, short.
That was a lot of contact.
Fletcher's going to push back the other way. Victoria Saxton. South Carolina had missed its last 6 shots before that putback. Ends the 2-minute scoring drought.
And Saxton was that player last season because of the energy she brings on the glass, and defensively, you go, how do you replace the leadership? Because she has been a leader for the last 4 seasons.
Yeah, talking to Dawn Staley about that, she said Victoria is that Mother Goose figure on her team, and she has been. I mean, she's been a captain since she was a sophomore.
Yeah, she's been a captain, co-captain with Aaliyah Boston over the last 3 seasons. That just really sets the tone for your culture that leads to winning ways. Look, Wheeler going right at Aaliyah Boston. You see, she's got a little bit of a limp there, but it doesn't slow her down, it doesn't stop her. She's not coming out of this game.
3-point play for Kiera Wheeler. South Carolina won for its last 7. This Norfolk State defense giving them problems, and Camille Downs gets a hand on it. Cook gets it back.
How active Camille Downs is at the top of that defense.
Bree Beal offensive board.
South Carolina gets offensive rebounds. Aaliyah Boston was practically at half court.
Another one, this time by Cook. Through traffic. It's been tough to score the basketball today for South Carolina. The Norfolk State defense does not stop.
The only thing they have not been able to do in that possession was keep South Carolina off the glass. But they've made scoring extremely difficult.
Isaiah Cook at the free throw line. It's the first. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship first round continues today on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com.
After this game, I got to check my bracket. See if I get it. Well, I had the little fire sign next to my name, so I'm taking that to mean that I'm doing okay.
It also could mean set your bracket on fire.
Or it could mean that they know me and know how fire I am.
Well, okay. I do know you. Cardoso back in the game. She picked up a couple of fouls in the first half and had to take a seat.
I'm impressed with how Wheeler, against 6'7", you know, most players try to go up through and beg for a foul, not Wheeler. She gets her position and then gets the space on the shot to score over length.
A quick pass up ahead to Camille Downs, swatted away by Bree Hall. Kiera Fletcher is fouled driving in.
Here, their freshman season, they didn't have an opportunity to play for a national championship because of COVID. They were disappointed the second year, and then they won just last season.
South Carolina is the 19th team to enter the tournament undefeated. 9 of those previous teams have gone on to win the title. But what have you seen so far from South Carolina here in their first game of the tournament?
Well, they've got a lot of talent. I mean, Dawn Staley has been able to play a lot of people. I mean, that's what I think has got to be so concerning for any opponent that they may face. And watching them play against a zone here, we've seen them being played so many different ways. Camille Downs ain't scared knocking down the three, but South Carolina, Dawn Staley has been able to find ways to win regardless of how teams defend them.
Often struggling a little bit right now for South Carolina. 1 for their last 11 shots. Going inside to Camila Cardoso, and she'll go to the free throw line. Being fed by Raven Johnson, no surprise.
When you talk about their drought, struggling to score, you go to 6'7".
Yes.
When you're not able to score, Raven Johnson knows I can throw over the top, and Camila Cardoso is going to catch it, number 1, and she's either going to finish or get herself to the free throw line.
Wheeler picks up her 3rd foul for the Spartans. Camila Cardoso has really emerged this season for South Carolina. Her first season was at Syracuse. She was the ACC co-defensive player of the year and freshman of the year. Last year came to South Carolina, was trying to figure out her place in this loaded roster.
And what I have noticed the biggest difference of Camila Cardoso, we were at practice yesterday, I could hear her.
She speaks.
I know.
She was very quiet last year. Boston to kick out to Raven Johnson, who can push. Bree Hall is with her. Layup.
I love the delivery of Raven Johnson. She knows when to give the ball up just in time. She's very rarely too late to make that decision.
That was an assist for Raven, her 4th of the game. And now the takeaway. Inside to Cardoso. Bree Hall, Bree Beal, by herself. Say my name correctly. Bree Beal with the 3. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Last one going to Bree Beal, who is one of 4 finalists for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, but adding that offense in, and it's going to be interesting to see Bree Beal. I mean, she's a player they're going to want on the next level in the WNBA.
I got to believe that GMs are really coveting getting a Bree Beal because of the toughness that she has already shown defensively. This is how I grade her. Strength, yeah, you don't want to mess with Bree Beal. She's got some bully ball about her, get an A+. She brings the toughness, A+, and a two-way player. And I say that, two-way, defensively, already proven. Offensively, you're just being introduced to what her capabilities are now in her senior season.
Sanaya Fagan is in the game for South Carolina.
There is a wealth of post players that Dawn Staley has to choose from on that roster.
People just show up in the game and you're like, oh, forgot about her. There she scored.
You better not forget about them. They'll make you pay.
Don't do it. High low to Fagan. Forget about nothing. Look at that.
The talent that is at South Carolina, and they're okay with playing their roles.
Right.
Dawn Staley has sold them on, look, your time will come. your opportunities will be there. Just continue to prepare yourself to be ready when your number's called.
Wheeler trying to get over 6'7" Camila Cardoso. Possession arrow to South Carolina.
We said Cardoso was the 6'7" answer when she comes in. We thought it was she'd be the recipient. Well, she's also a passer, finding Sanaya Fagan down low.
Sanaya Fagan, a sophomore, she was the number 4 overall recruit in last year's class, the number 1 forward, of course, the McDonald's All-American.
She has the benefit of learning from a great player, basketball mind in Aaliyah Boston.
Baseline. Welcome to the tourney. Here I am.
Columbia doesn't have to worry as this group moves on. There's a new slew of talent that's right here.
Francis, it's going to be an offensive foul. That's the 4th on Wheeler. 12-0 run right now for South Carolina.
Fagan's come in already 6 points. She's only played 2 minutes.
Well, she's on a 6-0 run alone. Just by herself.
Say, hold my Pepsi. I got this.
Mahogany Williams trying to push the other way. Deja Francis will pull it back out. Three and a half minutes without a bucket for the Spartans.
And Kiara Wheeler has gone to the bench too.
Johnson overshot the target of Sanaya Fagan. Raven Johnson, look, she's got such good instincts. It really benefits her out on the floor. She can see the future a little bit, if you will.
We were at practice a couple of weeks ago here, and she made a play in practice, and Dawn stopped practice and said, Raven, why did you do that? And Raven couldn't really give her an answer, and Dawn told her, I know you don't know.
Yeah.
But what I love about you is you have such great basketball instincts. Just play the game.
Bree Hall can't finish, though. It was a great pass from Raven Johnson. And that's going to be a foul on Raven.
We're talking about instincts. The instinct to throw a bounce pass to lead Bree Hall in transition. Breezy just wasn't able to finish it.
Deja Francis. Looking for the bank, it won't go. 10 minutes to go here in the first round in Columbia. South Carolina on top, 56-26. Your class, though, 125 wins and 8 losses in their career. I'd like to see you hit the gritty, Tech.
I think I could. I think my feet are too big.
No,
I can't get
you
them
can overcome
organized.
that.
I know. I think
Olivia will
Olivia can help
us.
me with that.
Yep.
I love watching Olivia Thompson practice, though.
Letitia Amin here gets fouled. And that's the 5th foul on Camille Downs. Camille Downs, a graduate student, the 2-time MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, 5th in the nation in steals, and she's fouled out of this game. In her final season at Norfolk State, Larry Baker's told us, look, times she's going 110 miles per hour all the time. Sometimes I gotta slow her down.
She's had a tremendous college journey. She was at Norfolk State. She tore her Achilles. This is her 4th school. She has been able to, she lost her love for basketball and then got that back when she came to Norfolk State and has really been a major contributor once she got there.
fouled by Raven Johnson. For a second. Francis fouled by Fagan.
There will be some teams that are going to take away some of the offenses that Norfolk State has been able to run against South Carolina in order to get themselves to the free throw line and cause the bigs of South Carolina to have to shift.
First point for the Spartans here in the fourth quarter. Francis has one more coming, and she gets it. Let's go back to the studio with Elle. Left on the clock. It's going to be the second on Fields. We talked about Letitia Meaner's versatility. Dawn Staley says she's the most versatile player I've ever coached. That's saying something.
Well, yeah, she's 6'4", handles the ball like a guard. She rebounds like a center. Look at Aaliyah Boston taking care of.
Craig Oates better watch out for his job. Aaliyah Boston is coming.
She just is the most selfless leader for South Carolina. That's like everybody on this team needs to play hard for Aaliyah Boston because of situations like that. She's going to take care of everybody. Even after the SEC championship game, Maya Fields not selling the free, but Aaliyah Boston gave Letitia Meaher her all-tournament trophy.
Yeah.
She said, we wouldn't be here without you. You deserve this. That's how selfless Aaliyah Boston is.
I think a good example, too, we were joking with Dawn Staley. Okay, Coach, if you had to vote for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, because Bree, Beal, and Aaliyah Boston are on that list, who would you vote for it? She said, first of all, players. But in the end, she said, Aaliyah would want me to vote for Bree.
Of course she would. I would assume nothing less.
Yeah. That's stuff that you don't see on the court, the chemistry with this group. That's fueled them. Can't emphasize enough how important that is in South Carolina's success.
A lot of times you come to teams and they talk about chemistry, and it's probably good chemistry for the majority of the team, but there's probably 2 or 3 that are unhappy and can cause some problems. That's not the case at South Carolina. It's 1 through 14. That chemistry is tight. They have such great respect for each other, the closeness that they have, and you can tell it shows on the court. That's a little unselfish there for Watkins. Too unselfish.
So you look at South Carolina, nobody's been able to beat them this season. That's the question. How do you slow them down? How do you stop them and beat them in this tournament?
Well, you look at Connecticut, Stanford, Ole Miss, all played them close. Stanford and Ole Miss took them overtime. Georgia played them close the first half, the first time they met. Zone can cause South Carolina at times to get stagnant, but usually they solve the issue of being stagnant, start moving. When they do that, then it's just because they've got so many weapons, so many options. It used to be sagging the paint, make South Carolina beat you from outside. They've proven that they've got outside shooters. Some teams are trying to slow the game down, lessen the possession. South Carolina, they command the glass, so that allows them to run. Don Staley has just been able to find different ways to win with whatever different plans the opponents have brought in.
You know, since the Stanford meeting, that was, what, in November? It was early on in the season.
Yeah, it was in November.
Ole Miss, I mean, I feel like South Carolina's gotten better since both of those games.
Yeah, the Ole Miss was in February. It was late. It was the latter part of the SEC regular season.
Okay.
But it's just different players can step up. Ty Cook can have an off-shooting night, and then Kiera Fletcher, like you did in Tennessee, hits 2 big threes.
Right.
But they have just different people that will step up. If one of their teammates is struggling, somebody else will help carry them out.
Yeah, it rolls in waves. Just keeps coming.
It does.
There's your girl. Olivia Thompson just checked in.
And look, in the offseason last year, when we started this year, Don Staley said, I was making it hard for me not to put her in the game with how well she's shooting the basketball. And in different situations when they played Stanford in that game that went to overtime,
Big three.
she put in, yeah, absolutely knocked down that three. So everybody, it's not a matter of getting a quantity amount of time, just quality. When you go in, do your job, and that's what O's always ready to do.
Francis trying to step back. And Chloe Kitts is fouled in the mid-range. It's on Deja Francis.
Chloe Kitts is playing in the NCAA tournament. She's supposed to be a senior in high school right now.
That was number 17 in the 2023 class, but enrolled early. And for this Norfolk State team, this has been a season to remember for sure. I mean, 26 wins. They go and win the MEAC tournament, getting that revenge over Howard, who upset them last year. And their defense tops in the nation in field goal percentage defense and scoring defense.
That's something they should be extremely proud of. Is being the top scoring defense in the country. That doesn't just happen because somebody has an off-shooting night. It's because of the defensive pressure the Spartans have been able to bring.
And just the second appearance all-time for Norfolk State in this NCAA tournament, the first since 2002. And in the corner, the three for Fields. 10 points for her.
Taking care of business in the MEAC is something that has become very common for Norfolk State, and I expect nothing less for a team that will be back.
And we're going inside to Sanaya Fagan, who's coming to this game late. 9 points now for Fagan. Fields has her shot blocked. So Asia Cooper with the defense there to get the stop.
South Carolina native. Her freshman season here. She put on a show last year when that was on American Day. Everybody wanted Owen to knock down that three. She'll have another opportunity if South Carolina is able to get a stop.
2 more. She has not stopped this entire game. 11 points, 8 rebounds, and it's been a battle in the paint.
And it hasn't been easy for Wheeler. I mean, going against Camila Cardoso, Olivia Boston inside. Watch how bad everybody wants Olivia to hit that 3. They were pulling for her.
And Rebuild tweeted after the SEC Tournament Championship game, it's amazing how much everyone on this team genuinely wants the others to succeed. And it's just impressive.
It is the culture that you want. If you want not to just win a national championship, to be a national championship program.
The fans, as they call them here in Columbia, rising to their feet. In a row sounds pretty fine. 39 straight wins for South Carolina. They advance to the second round.
Take care of business and got a lot of contributions by everybody, literally everybody in that white uniform for South Carolina. It's a good way to start, but it won't be so easy come Sunday.